everyone, I'm Stephanie and this is Mat Pilates. For today, we're gonna mostly be weight-free. There's only one small weight section. You can grab weights. I have wine bottles, soup cans work, whatever you got hanging around. It's gonna be, just your regular classical Mat Pilates. And we'll get started in just a minute. Just double checking what I have written down for today. Hi, Stuart. Okay. Cool. All right, and for those of you just joining us, the only time we're gonna use weights, we'll do them in the middle. If you have some light 3-pound weights, if not, grab yourself some wine bottles, some soup cans. Other than that, let's get it started. So let's start on the ground today. We're gonna start doing our roll-ups. So legs out in front of you. Let's just stretch for just a quick second. Arms up and overhead. Really find length. Let those hip bones sink all the way down towards those feet. Rib cage floating up and away from that pelvis. Shoulders melting away from those ears. Ears floating up and away from the shoulders. The jaw is released. Take a nice big inhale here. Let those palms face up towards the ceiling. Let those shoulder blades melt down the back. Big inhale, sending that breath through the rib cage, down the spine, down the pelvis, all the way towards those toes. As you exhale, feel that belly button sink deep towards that spine. Grab that left wrist with that right hand and just stretch. Bring those left ribs up and over, away from those left hips. And switch, grab that right wrist with that left hand. Let those right ribs come up and over. Feeling nice and long in our side body. Good. Now we're gonna bring those arms, we're gonna bring those fingertips up towards the ceiling and let those arms just slide into those shoulder sockets. Good, so we feel the collarbone nice and broad. I want you to find that connection from the top of your rib cage, connecting down deep into your abdominals, energetically reaching towards your tailbone. I want that sacrum to feel like it's energetically coming in through the abdominals up towards the heart. So we have a little crisscross action going on in those abs. Keeping those ribs down, we bring those arms up and over by our ears. We're stretching out the back of those arms. We inhale, we send energy all throughout our body. And that inhale lengthens us and floats up our head, neck, and chest. Our exhale brings us the rest of the way up. And we stretch up and over those legs. Feel that belly button reaching back as your fingertips reach forward. So we feel that hovering sensation. And you lengthen up into a nice L shape. Hinge back 3 inches so we warm up those deep abdominals. Then we lengthen that low back and very gently place each vertebrae onto the mat. Arms float up and overhead. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come on all the way up. And our up and over, really flex through those feet. Feel like you're stretching behind those knees. Spine is long. Good, and lengthen up. Roll those shoulders back. Hinge back 3 inches. Feel that spine growing long as you hinge, as if you're leaning back on a beach chair. And then right behind that belly button, feel that initiation in the deep abdominals. That brings that tailbone forward. Very slow, with control. We roll down, arms float up and overhead. This time we're going to keep that pelvis nice and anchored. We twist to the left and we bring ourselves up the left side body. And then we come center. We twist to the right, that pelvis stays nice and quiet. We all We hinge back 3 inches. Then we bring that tailbone forward and we lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. And we come center. Now let's reverse that. So we're going to twist to the right. We come up nice and tall and center. We rotate to the left. Hinge back 3 inches. Bring that tailbone forward. 1 vertebrae at a time. Lower down. Last time we're going to go straight up. Try to keep your arms up and over by your ears. So we inhale, we lengthen, we exhale to help get us the rest of the way. And a big stretch. And this time you can let that hover go. Really just let yourself lengthen over those legs. You can point those toes to stretch the front of the feet. Try to get that back nice and long over the legs. Flex through those toes. Roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Hands up and over by the ears. Again, hinge back 3 inches, long spine. Hold. Tailbone comes forward. Nice and slow. How slow can we go? Keep those collarbones wide. And then hug those knees into the chest. Bring those knees over to the right. And lengthen that left arm out to the left. Look at it. You can roll out that wrist. Big inhale. Exhale. 1 more like that. Big inhale. Exhale. Bring those knees over to the left. And then reach out to the right. Good. Roll out that right wrist. Big inhale. Exhale, release it out. Big inhale. Exhale, release. Last one here, big inhale. Exhale, bring those knees into your chest. We're going to have those legs in tabletop position. We're going to keep that pelvis in neutral, so both those hip bones are evenly shining up to the ceiling. There's a small air pocket of space between our low back and the mat. We curl up, head, neck, and chest. Those femurs are sinking into the hip sockets, yes? Good, we're gonna pump those arms as we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, good. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. We inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. We're halfway. Yes. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lengthen those legs if you want. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. We inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Hug the knees into the chest. Release out that lower back. Now we're going to bring those legs back into that tabletop position. And then we're going to interlace those fingers right behind the head, thumbs long on the neck. Really feel yourself lengthen out and then up. We don't want to just crunch our neck to the chest. So we want that length and then to come up. Legs are in tabletop position, making sure that those femurs are in line with those hip bones. We're going to have our pelvis as if it's going around on a clock. So if 6 o'clock is far away from you, 12 o'clock is right up at your forehead, we're going to bring those hips, tilt them down to the right, 9 o'clock, then it points down to 6, 3 o'clock, back to up to 6, 12, what is time? Good, we go dip down to 9, 6, 3, and 12. Good. So your head and your shoulders are staying nice and quiet. The rib cage is moving ever so slightly. You don't have to keep it fully quiet. And it's just about controlling that pelvis. We want to zip those abdominals in and up. Those low bellies are really contracting. Belly button is coming up and away from the pelvis. If you want to give yourself a little challenge, when we come to 6 o'clock, lengthen those legs and then bring them back in. So we go 9, lengthen at 6, and then come back at 3. Good, 2 more. Lengthen to 6, back at 3, last one. And hug the knees into the chest. Good. Now let's hug that right leg in and lengthen that left leg out. Actually, first let's warm up those hamstrings a little bit. Let's come into a bridge position. So feet are on the mat, hands are down, palms pressing into the mat. I want those shoulders nice and away from those ears. Collarbone is wide, rib cage is down. We're going to peel up. So firing right underneath that belly button. We want to get deep into that transverse abdominis, the deepest layer of our abdominals. That initiates our tailbone coming up, pulling our sacrum up, then our low back, then our mid back. And then we lengthen down from that bridge, melt behind the heart. Then the mid back, then the low back, sacrum, then tailbone. Good. Getting deep into those abdominals to control this movement. So we're not tucking our pelvis. We're letting our deep, deep abdominals contract and bring that tailbone up and lengthening it up nice and tall. Good. And then we melt behind the heart, still firing into those deep abdominals. That tailbone is still up until we bring it all the way down at the very end. Good. One more time like this. Deep abdominals. Holding it up here. We're going to bring that left heel up 2 inches and lower. Right heel up 2 inches and lower. Left heel up 2 inches and lower. Right heel up 2 inches and lower. Make sure that weight doesn't go out onto your pinky toes. Want that weight even between the whole ball of the foot. Good. Now try to move those heels through space. So as the left heel comes down, right heel comes up. Right heel comes down, left heel comes up. Yes? Good. Deep abdominals still fired up. Good. We want to keep thinking about that spine growing, growing, growing towards the ceiling. We're here for 5 and 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold both heels up and lower, both heels up and lower. We have 6. We have 5. Don't forget your abs. 4, 3, 2, last one. Lower the heels, melt behind the heart, and bring it all down. Good. Hug those knees into the chest. Now, lengthen that left leg out. Right leg is into the chest. Hands interlace behind the right leg. Make sure both those hips are even. We just point, lengthen that right leg up, and then when we flex, bring that heel back down. We point, it lengthens up. We flex, it comes down. You want to make sure that your pelvis is in neutral. Good. Just a couple more. Hold the leg up this time. Curl up, head, neck, and chest. Walk those hands up the leg and stretch that leg a little bit more towards your face. You can flex through those toes to deepen the hamstring stretch right behind that knee as well. Good. And lower back down. Hands come onto your hip bones. The most important part of this exercise is that the pelvis stays quiet and neutral. So we want to think about that tailbone long on the mat, hip bones reaching up, femur head sinking into the hip socket. We inhale, we draw a little circle, we reach across the body. As we exhale, the leg circles down and up. These circles are not very big. Inhale, it reaches across the body. Exhale, it circles down and up. If your hamstring is tight, bend that knee. What's most important is that that knee and femur bone are directly over the hip socket. Good. Belly button reaching up and away from that pubic bone. If you would like to add the curl, you may. You can curl up head, neck, and chest. Keep that pelvis in neutral. 2 more. Last one. And hug the knee to the chest. Good. Shake it out a little bit. We're going to reverse the circle. So still, the right leg is our circling leg. That left leg is still grounded into the mat. We just lengthen that right leg back up. We curl up. You can curl up head, neck, and chest, or you can stay down. We inhale, the right leg reaches away from the body. Exhale, it circles down and up. It reaches away from the body. It circles down and up. You can curl up head, neck, and chest if you would like. Good. Woo, my hip was really cracking today. Good. Let's go for 2 more. Last one. And hug the knee into the chest. Let it go. Shake out that right leg. And now we're going to go straight onto the left. So we're going to hug that left leg up and in. Right leg is out nice and strong. Interlace those fingers behind the left thigh. Try to get that pelvis in neutral. And we're just going to point to straighten that left leg, flex and bend. Point, straighten, flex and bend. We just want to get some blood flowing in the leg. Good. Point to straighten, flex to bend. Hold the leg up, curl up head, neck, and chest. You can flex through that left foot to deepen the stretch. Walk those hands up, hamstring stretch. You can tuck a little bit to deepen that hamstring stretch. And then lower down head, neck, and chest. If you tuck, just bring that pelvis back into neutral, please. And then we inhale, left leg circles across the body. Exhale, it reaches down and up. Inhale, it reaches across the body. Exhale, it goes down and up. That belly button is sinking down towards that spine. Yes, we want to fire right behind that belly button. Deep, deep abdominals working here. We want that belly button coming up and away from that pubic bone. We want lots of space and engagement in those lower abdominals to take it out of our hip flexor. Last 2. Oh, sorry, curl up if you would like to. Let's go for a bonus round if you curled up. And hug the knee into the chest. Always remember to breathe. Lengthen that left leg back up. If you would like to curl up head, neck, and chest, you may. Let's reverse it. So we inhale, leg reaches away from the body. Exhale, it circles down and up. Inhale, it reaches away. Exhale, down and up. Good. Keep thinking about wrapping those abdominals around, keeping that tailbone heavy into the mat. If you are curled up, you can also interlace your hands behind your neck if your neck gets tired. Let's go for 2 more. Final one. And hug the knee into the chest. Lengthen the leg out, shake it out, shake it out. Good, let's just get a little change of scenery. So we're gonna come onto our stomachs. And we're going to bring our hands, onto all fours so we can get those hands planted nicely underneath our shoulders. And then we're just gonna lengthen that right leg back, and then we're gonna lengthen that left leg back. Let's zip those legs together in this plank. We're going to bend that right knee a few inches. Let that right hip bone dip a couple inches, and then right at that waistline, zip those hips and legs back together. Left knee bends, left hip bone follows. Exhale, we zip it back up. Inhale, let that right twist. Inhale, right at the waistline, bring it back together. Left knee, left hip. Inhale, come up. Right, sorry, exhale, come up. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, up, good. And as we lower the hip, keep that spine nice and long. Left and up. 4 more, right? And up and left. Up, right. Up and left. Up. Gently place those knees down. And do a little child's pose. Good. So now, let's grab, if you have those weights, grab those weights. We're gonna have them in our hands. We're gonna be on our, sitting right on our feet. So feet are right under your butt. We're gonna have those weights right by us. So as if we're placing our forearms fully down on the mat, just have those weights in hand. We inhale, those ribs float up and off of those hips, and we just stretch those triceps behind us. See on a side view. So I want us to engage right in between those shoulder blades, right in that mid back. Exhale, sits bones wide, and you come down a nice straight spine. Inhale, we come up, stretch those arms back, so we get that chest nice and wide. I want to make sure though, we don't pop those ribs. Ribs stay engaged. It's about engagement right in that mid back, okay? Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale, let the muscles do the work. Don't pop open the bones of the ribs. Exhale lower. Sits bones bring you up, and then they widen so you can come down. Good. Belly button coming up and away from that pubic bone. Ribs floating up and off of those hips. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale up, exhale lower. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, final 2, last 1. Stay up. We're gonna take those arms, sorry, I have to get my hair out of my face. Taking those arms out to the side. So the elbows slightly in front of the shoulder, and those elbows are up. If I have any ballet people here, we have nice ballet arms here. We're going to inhale to bring those weights together. Exhale, we get those shoulder blades to come together to bring us open. Inhale, we want to still keep that collarbone wide, don't sink forward. Exhale, we come open. Inhale, gather together. Exhale, open. On those inhales, also keep going. Think about those abdominals wrapping around as the arms come forward, and then holding that wrapping sensation as we exhale and bring them out. Inhale, they come together. We grow that spine nice and tall. Exhale, keep that abdominal connection. Inhale together. Exhale out. We have 3 more. Inhale. Exhale, we're strong. Inhale, we're long. Exhale, we're strong. Last one. And out. Last thing here. You can drop one of your weights down if you want, or you can do it with both weights. First, I'll show it with both weights. I'm probably going to drop down. We're going to keep that circular position. We're going to let those shoulder blades melt down the back as the arms float up. And exhale, we return. Inhale, spine is long, shoulder blades melt down the back. Exhale, we come up. So as the arms come overhead, don't let those ribs pop out. You have to keep those ribs connected to the abdominal wall. Good. Keeping those elbows nice and wide. Inhale, we melt the shoulders, we grow the spine. Exhale, we wrap deep in that abdominal contraction. Inhale, now hold those nice abs. Exhale, deepen. Good. Let's go for 5. Nice long neck, release the neck. For 4. For 3. for 2. This is the last one. Make it a good one. And down. Good. Woo, I'm sweating. I don't know about you guys. Good. Let's come on to our backs now. And we're gonna reverse that clock. So, interlacing your fingers behind your head, we curl up head, neck, and chest. We have those legs in tabletop position. So now, we bring those legs over to 3 o'clock, dip it to the left, down to 6, then to 9 o'clock, back up to 12. Good, so we're bringing that pelvis all the way around the clock. Shoulders are quiet, ribs moving ever so slightly. You just want to really think about keeping those abdominals strong as we're moving this pelvis around. And if you want to add the little bonus challenge at 6 o'clock, you can extend the legs, bring it back at 9. We come down to 3, extend at 6, bring them back at 9. Good, make sure those elbows stay wide, not like what I was doing. Good. Let's go for 4 more. Last 3. Final 2. And last 1. Good. Give yourself a tiny little break. Now we're going to do my favorite exercise. We're going to curl up head, neck, and chest. Legs in tabletop. As we inhale, legs extend out long, arms extend up by your ears. We exhale, arms come around wide, legs come into tabletop. Nothing from the crown of the head to the tailbone changes. So we do not arch that back and then tuck. We keep it nice and quiet. The head stays perfectly still. Some of us like to curl up as the legs come in. I encourage you to stay perfectly still. The only things that move are the legs and the arms. We lengthen those triceps, we lengthen those hamstrings, and then we bring them around, that's all. That belly button is going deep down towards that spine. We have 3. We have 2. We have 1 more. And lower down. Let's come on to our, let's come into a 4-point hold right now. So in your 4-point hold, you just want to make sure that those knees are underneath those hips. Heart is in between those shoulder blades. Hands are underneath those shoulders. Now we're going to lengthen the crown of the head and lengthen that right foot back so long. And we're going to lift that right leg up so it's in line with the hips. Bring it back in, bring the knee in, and then we lengthen it back out. Good. You want to try to keep those hips as quiet as possible. So, think about as the leg comes back in, those sits bones widening. Those, as if you have headlights on your hip bones, they're still evenly shining down into the floor below you. Head is in line with the spine. Let's go for 3 more. Final 2. Last 1. Hold it out. So it's in line with the hip, right where that glute meets that hamstring, right in there. We fire that up, we pulse it up, 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 up. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knee down. And let's go right onto the left. So, left leg. So first you want to keep that belly button up towards that spine. Then you lengthen that left leg out, up towards that hip. Bring the knee in. It lengthens out. Keep thinking about that spine, crown of the head extending way in front of you. tailbone extending all the way towards the back of the room. Good. We're wrapping those abdominals around. They're fighting gravity to keep us nice and quiet. We're not closing in on our side body. Staying nice and long. We have 5. We have 4. Hips are quiet. 3. Last 2. We hold this one out. Right where that glute and hamstring meet. We begin to pulse it, yes? We go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it back in. Good. Now let's lengthen all the way onto the floor. And on our stomachs. We're gonna have those hands underneath the shoulders. Roll those shoulders back. We're gonna bring those inner thighs together like magnets. Hip bones are melting into the mat. That tailbone is nice and long. We have lots of length in that low back. Right behind that belly button, we're fired up to support ourselves from our deepest layer of our abdominals. We lengthen that spine so long that it begins to float up, bringing with it our head, neck, and chest. We want to make sure we're not using our hands to hold us up there. So float those palms off of the mat so that they're right underneath the shoulders. Right in that mid-back where we worked with our weights before. I want you to think about that mid-back initiating to bring those shoulder blades together and down the back. Good. We hold for 10, 9, belly button up and in, 8, 7, head is long, 6, 5, 4, mid-back initiates, 3, 2, 1, palms come down, lower down. If you need to shake up your hips, you may. Again, hands underneath those shoulders. We heel up, nice and long, starting at the crown of the head. We lengthen out to come up and let those palms float off the mat. Keeping that belly button up and off the mat, lengthen those fingertips behind you. From the mid-back, we bring those shoulder blades together and down the back. Good. Clasp those hands together and stretch those shoulders. Release the hands, keeping those hip bones anchored into the mat. We're just twisting the rib basket to the right. And center, and to the left. And center. Again to the right. And center, and to the left. And center. Bend those elbows, hands come down, and lower down. If you want to take a little cat-cow here, my guest. Exhaling cat. Inhale. Coming back. Now we're going to have our hands in a diamond shape underneath our forehead. Those legs are going to be a little bit wide and externally rotated. So from the very top where that femur bone connects into the hip socket, I just want you to rotate that femur bone out so that those inner thighs are into the mat, heels are towards each other, toes are away from each other. And those legs are wider than hip distance. Belly button comes in and up. We lengthen those legs out. We bend those knees, heels come towards the glute. Inhale, they lengthen out. Head is down on the palms. Exhale, we bend the knees. Inhale, we lengthen the legs. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Don't forget that belly button is reaching up towards that spine. Tailbone is long. Big length and stretch in that low back. Good. Trying to keep, if you can, get those thigh bones off of the mat, even if they're off the mat a centimeter. It deepens the work. Good. 3 more. On this next one, we're going to bring those heels together. And then right in that, where the glute and the hamstring meet, right from there, we're going to lift the legs up an inch and lower. It can be very, very small. I don't want you to get into your back. I want it to be right from there, right where the glute and hamstring meet. That's where we're focusing our efforts. Belly button up and in towards that spine. We have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lengthen out the legs. Bring those legs now so that they're right in line with your hips. So they're not exactly touching. There's a little bit of space between your legs. Arms are out nice and long. As we inhale, we float up our legs and our hands just an inch off of the mat. So both hands, both legs hovering. Then we bring that right hand and that left leg up an inch extra. Then they come back to their hovering. The left hand, the right leg come up extra. And then they hover. So no one ever touches the ground. Right hand, left leg go a little higher. Then they come back to hovering. Left hand, right leg higher and back. So those hip bones are still sinking into the mat. I want those shoulder blades melting down the back. That mid back is engaged to help keep those shoulder blades connected to the back. Let's go for 6, for 5, 4, belly button in and up, 3, last 2, and 1. Come on into a child's pose. Good, walk those hands over to the left. Sink those hips back and down to the right. Breathing into the stretch. And now walk those hands over to the right. Sink those hips back and down to the left. Big inhale. Exhale. Big, deep inhale. Exhale. One more breath like that. Coming center. Good. Now we're going to come on to our backs. We're going to come as if we're doing our roll-ups again, but we're going to roll up into our teaser. So find that spine nice and long, pelvis is neutral, fingertips reaching up to the ceiling, and then slide those arms into the shoulder sockets so we get that connection. Bring those arms, stretching the back of those arms up and over by those ears. We inhale to lengthen our head, neck, and chest off of the mat. Once those shoulder blades are about to leave, we exhale, bringing the shoulder blades and the legs off of the mat. Good. If you need, while you're here, to hold your hands underneath your knees, that's totally fine. I want your legs to be up nice and high. If you have them low, you're going to get into your hip flexors more, and that's no fun. So I'd rather you hold here and develop the strength here than go like this. So, and if you are here, then you really are in an optimal position to bring those lats down the back. Now, we're just going to add a little twist action. So those hands can come into prayer position because we are praying. This Pilates is almost over. We inhale, we rotate that rib basket to the left. We exhale, we return center. Inhale, rib basket rotates to the right. Exhale, it comes center. That pelvis does not join us for this. Exhale, center. Good. Think about that tailbone pointing up just a little bit so we have extra length in that low back. Deep connection right behind that belly button. Fire into those abdominals. Inhale to the left. Exhale, center. Inhale to the right. Exhale, center. Can we go for 4 more? Final 3. Last 2. Last 1. And then float those arms up and over your head. And we lower everything down, feet and head at the same time. Oh, we made it to the stretch section. Let's be so grateful. So interlace those hands together. Just stretch those hands up and over by your ears. Legs are nice and long. Good. Let's come into a hip stretch. So your left leg is going to be folded as if we're going to come into a pretzel position with the legs, but have that left leg perfectly nice and 90-degree angled, and then that right leg, instead of pretzeling it, that right foot is going to come on top of that left knee. Right knee ideally over that left foot. And wherever you are in your hip flexibility is wherever you'll be in this position. Some people's legs are a little higher, not a problem. What's important is that we really stretch those ribs up and away from those hips. Inhale, really grow nice and long and tall. Exhale, lengthen that spine out, away from that pelvis and over those legs. Good. Big inhale. Exhale, give me a nice big vocal release. We hold a lot of our emotions, a lot of our stress in our hips, and these are some very, very difficult times we're dealing with right now. So I encourage you to stretch your mind and also stretch your hips, because you might be holding a lot in there. Walk those hands over to the right. You can even extend that right arm off of the mat. Really keep that energy of those right fingertips stretching away, away, away. Big inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale where you're holding the most tension. Send your inhale there. Exhale, release it out. One more breath like that. Inhale. Exhale, release. Walk it center. Walk it over to the right. Let that left arm extend. Big inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, release. Last one here. Inhale. Exhale, release. Walk it center. Use those hands to help walk you up. And let's switch those legs. So we're going to have that right leg down. Nice parallel shin. Left foot on top of that right knee. Left knee over that right ankle. Gently get yourself into that position. We grow. Use those hands as if you're pulling on a rope to bring you up and then out. Long over those hips, legs. Just breathing deeply. Send that breath to expand those ribs nice and wide. Exhale, sink deeper into that stretch. Inhale. Exhale, release. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale, release. Walk those hands over to the right. And you can even have that left arm energetically reaching far, far away from that body. Big, deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. one here. Inhale. Exhale, release, walk yourself over to the left. Extend that right arm nice and long. Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale. Exhale, release it out. Last one. And walk yourself center. Use those hands to walk you up. Release those legs. The legs extended out in front of you. Sitting up nice and tall, really using the strength of your abdominals to keep you sitting up nice and tall in this little unnatural position. Shoulders roll back a couple times. Let the shoulders melt down the back. Close those eyes. One big inhale here. Exhale, release. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Take care.